Hi guys, it's Carol. How are you? I'm doing good. I feel so much better than I have in weeks. I'm okay. My throat doesn't hurt. Doing good. But I wanted to tell you a story about this time I had a wreck. I had an old minivan, and I was going on this 3-lane one-way street through our downtown going home. I've been on this street a million times because this is the route I took to work the 20 years I worked downtown. I knew that street. Anyway, I was going north, and there were a whole bunch of street lights through downtown, but they were set, though, if you were going just under the speed limit, as you approached a green light, all the others were going to be turned green. If you got stopped at a red light, as soon as it turned green, gradually the others turned green by the time you got there if you weren't speeding. And so I knew this street. Anyway, I approached this intersection where a 4-lane street intersects with the 3-lane one-way. I'm going north, and I glanced to the east, and I saw a car way down there, but my light was green. I knew they had the red light, and I just kept on going into the intersection when, boom, she hit me. Knocked me out, and I don't know how long I was out. But when I came to, this is the funny part, when I came to, all I could see is white cloud, bright white light. And I distinctly remember thinking, it's the bright white light. I've made it to the pearly gates. I'm in heaven. No, I wasn't in heaven. I wasn't dead. I just gradually came to, and I remember the white dissipating like a cloud. And my glasses had flown off somewhere. I had my cell phone on the seat next to me. I couldn't feel it anywhere. So I get out of my van. I see that it is just hit on all sides. And I could see the white Mustang that hit me. She was now going the opposite direction she was, about a half a block, 3/4 of a block down from where she hit me. But she had stopped. And then I looked over the other way, and there was a Suburban stopped at the street light, and he was going west. So I thought he hit me. I ran over there to the Suburban, and I said, is anybody hurt? Are you injured? And they told me, it's a man and wife and a kid. And they told me, no, we didn't even see the wreck. We just drove up to the street light, and the wreck had already taken place sometime. So I told him that I couldn't see, and he got out and helped me find my glasses and my cell phone. And his wife was calling 911, and they left. I wish they'd stayed with me. But anyway, they took off. Okay, so I thought I better call 911 too, because what if they didn't? So I remember calling 911 and the dispatcher asking me my location. Well, I was going north. Now, my minivan was facing east, and I had never been down that street east. I looked around, and I didn't recognize anything. And so I told her, I don't know where I am. But I guess from the other call, they knew where I was somehow. And she told me they'll be there momentarily. And which was just moments, because there was a fire station about 6 blocks from where this wreck took place. And there was obviously an officer in the area, because he beat the fire department there. So I was taken care of. But I thought the dispatcher was supposed to, now I think the dispatcher's supposed to stay on the line with me. She didn't. Anyway, I don't think I'm injured. I see these 3 college kids get out of the white Mustang down that way. And so I walk down there to meet them, and she's saying, oh, ma'am, I am so sorry. I'm not from here. I didn't know where I was going. I was looking down at my GPS, and I was driving way too fast. And I was thinking, yeah, you must have been flying low. But anyway, she said I was looking down at my GPS, and by the time I glanced up and saw the red light, I couldn't stop. And I remember putting my hands on her face like this and saying, oh my gosh, you are beautiful. You're not injured. I'm not injured. Your mother's not going to get a horrible phone call tonight. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. It was just an accident. And all of that is just fiberglass and metal. We can replace it. And hugging her. And then I go back, and I call my daughter and call my son, because the police officer asked me what towing company I want to use. I don't know a towing company. So I said, let me call my son. Tell him I need a tow truck. His mother, where are you? And I told him I've totaled the van. And so he tells me what tow company, and he races there, and my daughter's there. And I guess I was just so loopy from this horrible hit in the head, because I remember my head hurt horribly. I remember a firefighter walking in front of me and me telling him my head hurts so bad, it must be bashed open, am I bleeding? And him saying, no, ma'am. And I remember asking another firefighter, telling him my head hurts so bad, I've got to be bleeding. No, you're not bleeding. Why they didn't say she probably has a head injury, I don't know. I asked the police officer, am I bleeding? No. So I decide I'm not injured. I'm going to get it. I got out in the street, in the middle of this 3-lane street, started picking up chunks of metal and fiberglass and glass. And the police officer came over and said, ma'am, get over on the sidewalk. And I told him, no, I have to clean this up. No, you don't. See, I want you over there on the sidewalk. Then the ambulance gets there. The EMT gets out, and me, always worrying over money, I said, do I have to pay for the ambulance? I didn't call it. And she says, no, ma'am. Are you injured? No, I'm not. And she said, okay, just sign here that you're refusing treatment. And you don't want to have to pay for the ambulance. Okay, do that. Well, I had this lump on my arm right here. I mean, it was bigger than a golf ball. It was swollen up. My whole arm was black and blue. I didn't know it at the time, but I had broken bones in my hand and I had a concussion. But you'd think she would have seen this big lump and have said, let me just at least take your blood pressure or come lay down or something. No, sign here. So I did. And the police officer came over and I told him my head hurts so bad after the ambulance had left. And I showed him my arm and he said, I've seen that lots of times. He explained to me what's right there, what happens. I don't remember that part. But he said, I've seen that lots of times. It'll go down. So I had kept telling this police officer, there's got to be a third car and that person is dead. Why I thought that, I don't know. Bump on the head. And he kept telling me, no, there is not a third car involved. And I told him, yes, I look at my minivan, it's been hit all over the place. And he told me, we know from the paint scrapes that, and we know from her saying she was flying low down the street. She hit you, you both spun, she hit you again, you both spun, she hit you again. There's not a third car. It's okay. So my daughter takes me home. And by then, my adrenaline has quit raging. And by the time we get home, I realize my head hurts really bad. My hand hurts really bad. I have got bruises. My whole torso was a big bruise. This arm was bruised. This arm was bruised. And so my daughter said, we're going to go to the emergency room. So she took me to the emergency room. Sure enough, I had broken bones. I had a concussion. The driver, the little girl that told me she wasn't injured, she and her 2 friends were at the emergency room too. I guess after their adrenaline went down, they decided they were injured too. But the whole point of this story is, when I was passed out in my car, when those people in that Suburban drove up to the street light, and I'm the one that came to and walked over to their car, why the heck didn't they get out of their car and come offer aid to me? Why didn't they comfort me? I needed someone to be holding my hand, to be telling me, it's okay, I'm going to be here with you until the police get here. No, they gave me my phone and my glasses and they drove off. What I really needed was somebody by my side that didn't have a head injury. If you ever come across a wreck, please be compassionate. Stay with those people. Stay right there next to them until first responders get there, and then let them do their job. I needed them to stay with me. I know now. Well, the whole point of this story is somebody had told me, they saw a video on YouTube, posted today, and this lady was behind another woman who turned a corner and then veered over and ran into an electrical pole. And the lady behind her was a YouTube creator, got out and immediately started filming. She was filming all around and saying, that lady just hit that pole. And she walked up to the car. The driver's side door is cracked open. Said, "Do you have any family I need to call?" She was still filming right up there at the car. And then she's filming all over the place, saying this lady shouldn't have been driving. I don't know what happened to her, but she shouldn't have been driving. And I'm thinking, you know what? You do not know that she shouldn't have been driving. Obviously, she had a medical emergency. Obviously, she had a stroke or a heart attack or something happened. You don't know that she shouldn't have been driving. This was an accident. It could happen to any of us. Any of us of a certain age could suddenly have a medical emergency. But anyway, instead of standing there next to her and holding this woman's hand, she said she didn't speak English or she was delirious. But you know what? When I was picking up metal out of the street and saying there's a dead person in a third car, I would have sounded delirious. I needed somebody to stand with me and say, "It's okay. Let me take care of you until the first responders get here." Well, this lady filming it. Now, I realize hindsight is 2020. And I realize when things happen suddenly, we don't always think of the proper thing to do. Hindsight's 2020. But she is just filming everywhere, and the woman is in this car. And when the police are there and are at the car, this lady's yelling at him, "Is she passed out?" Please, people, have compassion. Don't be filming this. This lady is this is a time of need. She needs you to be compassionate to her. She needs you to say, "I'll stand here with you. I'm going to be right here. I'll be right here with you until the first responders come." And then get the heck out of there. Let the first responders do their job. Where I live, they don't even let the news crew that close. I mean, she's all over the front of the car saying this pole's going to fall. And the police where I live are wonderful. They do not even allow a news crew that close. They would not allow citizens that close. If they thought an electrical pole was going to fall, they sure wouldn't let you be standing under it filming it. Our police, when they come upon a wreck, they are in control and they've got it down. They don't need civilians in the middle of it. But my whole point is, I realize hindsight's 2020. I'm not going to say anything bad about this person for what she did, other than I think it was a very poor choice. Those of us who proclaim to be Christians, I would think anytime something happens, you would immediately think, what would Jesus do? He would not be filming this woman, her wrecked car, walking around. He would not be filming it. He would be offering her compassion until help arrived. So, if you ever come upon a wreck, please go offer compassion to the person. Say, "I will be here right next to your side until they come. They're on their way." Especially, if I'd been dying, I would have wanted someone there holding my hand and saying, "I'm going to be right here with you next to your side until the ambulance gets here." That's what I would have wanted. And if somebody had been filming me when I'm in La La Land from an awful bump on the head, when I was passed out, when I did not know what in the heck was going on, when I was picking up pieces of my minivan out of the street because I thought I had to get that cleaned up. If somebody had been filming me, my kids would have been furious. Later on, when I would have gotten my wits about me, I would have been furious. Please, people, don't do that, please. Okay, I'm going to stop. And I'm not going to tell you the name of that channel because that's not my business. My point is, offer compassion. Don't film people in their time of need when you don't know if they're dead or alive. I mean, this lady yelled at the police officer. Is she passed out? She shouldn't have been driving. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go. Appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.